Hey, let me tell you a story. Not about ghosts, not about curses, nothing that hides in your closet or crawls across the ceiling. This one's different because it happened in daylight, in neighborhoods with trimmed lawns and holiday wreaths, and no one saw it coming. His name was Eric, 34 years old, drove an old gray Camry with one cracked headlight and a dent in the driver's door, worked for a small pizza joint near the highway, didn't talk much, didn't hang around. After shifts, no social media, no background noise, just a man and a job and something broken inside him that no one noticed. He started writing things down, not poetry, not dreams, just names and addresses, and little red marks next to them. 1 meant rude, 2 meant cruel, 3 meant deserving. He didn't choose randomly, he never did. His first entry was a girl named Hannah, apartment 6B, ordered a large pepperoni on a Saturday night, opened the door wearing glitter and lip gloss, friends behind her laughing at something on her phone. She looked at him, then looked at them, and said something like, "Looks like my pizza's here and so is my disappointment." They all laughed, not a nervous laugh, not awkward, just sharp and mean. Eric said nothing, just handed over the box and walked back to his car. But he didn't forget. He never forgot. That night he came back, not with rage, not with revenge, just a plan, a small plastic vial in his jacket, odorless, tasteless, nothing that shows up on standard panels. He knew which slice was hers. He made sure it was folded just right. He even warmed the box again so it didn't raise suspicion. For hours later she was dead. So were her 2 friends. One collapsed in the bathroom, one on the couch. Hannah made it to the bedroom before her heart stopped beating. The news said sudden cardiac arrest, possibly drug-related. Nothing conclusive. Toxicology showed clean like bleach and glass. Eric read the headlines the next morning with coffee and silence, opened his notebook and wrote, "They laughed together, so they died together." Underneath he added, "The joke never ends until someone stops laughing." Well, it ended. He kept delivering, kept showing up with a smile that didn't reach his eyes, kept writing names, observing doorways, listening for tone, watching for eye contact. His rules were simple. He never touched homes with kids. He never marked people who said thank you or smiled like they meant it. But if you rolled your eyes, if you sighed before opening the door, if you tossed cash without a glance, you went in the book. And once you were in, you didn't come out. Nobody questioned it. People die every day. Pizza is just pizza. Nobody runs a lab test after dinner. And Eric liked it that way. Liked how quiet it was, how fast people disappeared from their own routines, and how nobody thought to blame the guy with the warm box and the fake smile. A month went by, maybe more. People kept dying, not every night, not every week, just often enough to stay invisible. A college kid collapsed in the shower. A real estate agent never woke up from a nap. A man in a suit fell face down in his kitchen, with half a slice still in his hand. No trauma, no blood, just gone. And the reports kept coming back the same. Undetermined cause, no toxins, no foreign substances, nothing to track, just silence and speculation. And in every case, a greasy box already buried under coffee grounds and banana peels. Eric watched the news sometimes, not often, just enough to know they were clueless. The headlines said things like mystery death, unexplained collapse, whispers of new synthetic drugs, parents blaming vaping or energy drinks. No one said the word pizza. No one said the word delivery, not once. But then came Marquez, a detective from the old school, sleeves rolled, tie loosened, a guy who didn't believe in coincidences. And he started seeing patterns, small ones, weak ones, like background static, but they were there. He noticed one death, then another, and realized they all lived within 10 miles of each other, and they'd all died at home, alone, late at night. No signs of forced entry, no missing items, just sudden death and food delivery receipts in the trash. He couldn't prove anything, not yet, but something bothered him, so he started asking around, not officially, just small talk at the pizzeria, pretending to be friendly, asking who worked there, who delivered what, who had regular routes, and that's when he heard about Eric. Quiet guy, best driver they had, never called in sick, never late, didn't hang out, just delivered and left. Marquez made a note, just a name at first, Eric T. No last name on the schedule, no file photo, no emergency contact, just initials, and a phone number no one had ever used. He didn't push it, not yet, just waited, circled the name, and kept watching. Then it happened. A junior officer at the station ordered pizza during a late shift. Nothing unusual, just a meat lovers and a bottle of soda. Paid in cash, dropped the box on his desk. Didn't even eat right away, just laughed. Said the delivery guy didn't even make eye contact, like he was sleepwalking. 2 hours later, that same officer collapsed in the hallway, hit the floor hard, didn't respond, no pulse, pupils blown wide. They rushed him to the hospital, stomach pump, CPR, but it was too late. He died under bright lights with wires in his arms and phone in his mouth. That's when Marquez saw it, the empty box still on his desk, still warm under the lid, the logo smudged but visible, the address label still taped to the side. Same pizzeria as all the others. He didn't say a word, just stared at it like it had spoken first. Now it wasn't theory, it wasn't coincidence. Now it was real. They didn't wait. The moment the officer died, Marquez called in every favor he had, pulled records, talked to dispatch, pulled the employee log from the pizzeria. Eric T. Still no full name, no ID copy, no address, just shifts and delivery routes. Handwritten notes with time stamps, but no signatures, like a ghost doing perfect work. The manager said he was the best they had, always on time, no complaints, 0 missed shifts in almost a year. But nobody really knew him, not where he came from, not where he went when the shift was over. They tried the number. It rang once, then silence, no voicemail, no ringtone, just static. Marquez sent to officers to wait outside the pizzeria, plainclothes, told them to sit tight and report if anyone matching the vague description showed up, but they were already too late. Eric had already clocked in and left on another delivery. He knew they were onto him. Maybe not the full picture, but enough. He'd seen the unmarked car across the street, the same guy checking the dumpster twice. In one night, the sudden drop in orders from regular addresses. He wasn't stupid, he was patient, and patience comes with preparation. Inside his car, the pizza box was hot, fresh, sealed tight, but the real heat sat under his seat. A small metal flask tucked in a cutout of the carpet, the last dose. He never used it on himself before, but tonight felt final, like the closing of a book. And Eric wasn't the type to get arrested. The delivery address was fake. The house was empty, locked, dark, no lights inside. He pulled into the driveway and sat there, headlights off, engine running, waiting to see if they'd follow. He didn't wait long. Marquez was 2 blocks behind, radio tied to his shoulder, heart pounding. A second unit was coming from the west. They planned to box him in. Simple, quick, no sirens, no chance to slip away. But Eric didn't play along. He started driving, slow at first, then faster, then reckless. They followed, lights off. But the moment he turned into the industrial district, he floored it, like he was heading towards something only he could see. Fences blurred, lights streaked past, radio chatter filled the car. Marquez, shouted to block the next intersection. They almost had him, but Eric wasn't planning to run forever, not when he could choose the ending, not when he could write the last line himself. He saw the cruiser ahead, the one waiting to cut him off, and he didn't brake. He didn't swerve. He just gripped the wheel tighter and pushed the pedal through the floor. The crash was instant, violent, final. Metal crushed metal. Glass exploded into darkness, and everything went quiet. The crash killed him instantly. His chest crushed against the steering wheel. Skull split at the temple. Fire in the engine bay, but not enough to burn. The officer in the cruiser didn't make it either. Thrown sideways into the windshield, the second officer in the passenger seat survived, but barely. They pulled him out with half a face and a broken spine. The scene looked like war, but Marquez didn't look at the wreckage. He looked at what was left in the back seat, the pizza box, still warm, still sealed, and next to it, tucked between the seats, that red notebook. It wasn't a diary, not in the way people write about dreams or regrets. It was a list, a precise record of names, addresses, dates, behavior. Little notes in the margins like too loud. No tip, called me boy, laughed, laughed, laughed. Some had just one red mark, some had 3. None had been crossed out. There were no fingerprints on the notebook, no prints on the plastic vials found hidden in the trunk, no receipts, no confession. Just a pattern and a pile of bodies nobody could explain. The media got hold of the story, but they didn't get it right. They called it an accident. Some whispered serial killer, others said food poisoning, but nobody wanted to say the truth out loud. That a man who brought dinner to your door might have decided whether you deserve to live. The pizzeria shut down 2 days later. Employees disappeared. Manager refused. Interviews. Health inspectors went through every inch of the kitchen and found nothing, because there was never anything to find. The poison didn't come from the store, it came from him, and he never left a trace. Marquez never gave a press conference. He didn't need the attention. He just sat at his desk and flipped through the notebook, page by page, watching the red marks bleed across the paper like quiet revenge. He didn't cry, didn't speak, didn't sleep for 3 days. One night, he went home late, parked in silence, walked to his door and noticed something strange. A box on his porch, pizza, no name, no receipt, no heat left in it, just a box, clean, white, folded tight. He didn't touch it, didn't bring it inside, just sat on his steps for hours, watching it, waiting to see if it moved. It didn't. Eric was gone. The case was closed, but the questions never really stopped. People still argue over the details, still wonder how he got away with it for so long, still tell the story when the delivery guy shows up a little too quiet. If you stayed with this story to the end, thanks for listening. Feel free to subscribe if you want to hear more. There's always another story, and we're already writing the next one.